Your turn is coming, my friend. And you have been at a point in time in your life of where I feel like your faith has been really challenged because you've been putting out requests. You've been wondering why your spiritual team, the universe, God, like whatever you believe in, hasn't shown up for you, right? I don't know if you perhaps put in like specific requests where it's like you really need certain things to happen or certain things to come through to be accepted somewhere. Even you might even put out like a request where it's like you just don't want to feel alone anymore, where you just want to be validated in the sense where it's like you're not crazy for what you believe in. And it's funny I'm talking, I feel this call to this message here because you're coming into this tarot reading, my friend, right? But I do believe that was reading Kanji for a reason. I do believe that this is your spiritual team's way of showing to you that they haven't forgotten about you. And your spiritual team is going to be taking an action before the I hear like I'm being shown 2 and 3. So I take this in like a 2 to 3 week time span here from when you're receiving the message of this that judgment energy playing a really big part in your life there. Right? Some things about really big is going to be coming in your life from your spiritual team, chariot energy right after the fact there, and it's going to be something that you're deserving of, you're entitled to. But I also feel as if this is like your life is so much bigger than what you I think are giving it credit for. Not only just in a sense of like what you are going to accomplish in this lifetime, but also like you think this is about you. You think the manifestation, like your life is just about you, but actually, like the way that you're going to be living your life is going to be serving as either lessons for some people, and you probably already have been a lesson for a few folks in your life. Um, Lesson for other people to show other people what is capable, what is possible, what is capable there. I do believe that you are a little bit of a trailblazer. I am being shown coals while I'm saying this, so I won't be surprised if it's been a long term time coming of figuring out like where you're blazing your trail. To me, it feels like I hear like this message where it's like people have forgotten that this is your first time as well. And I think that's more so respected towards just how well you've been able to manage through this life up until this point. You probably are not somebody that just comes crashing down, freaking out when the wrong thing happens. And Seven of Wands, even when it's not necessarily something you want to have to the effect on people, but it's like people come to you. And I do feel as if while I'm connecting to you at this time, part of the reason why you go to spirit so much, you're really wanting spirit to assist you in some way is because you're at this point where you're just like, "All right, man, like everyone else is relying on me. Who am I gonna rely on? Who are you going to rely on? Who's gonna be your support system there?" And I just feel as if you're about to be entering a time of your life after dealing with enough lessons to where you realize that you can't be continue investing into people that are not willing to invest in you. I think you have been shorthanded quite a bit. Is that the word I'm looking for? Like shorthanded quite a bit in terms of the people that you've connected with and tried to be on the same team with, whether it's people you date, family, honey, friends, business. Like, it just feels as if you've always been the one that's shorthanded or like the small you pulled like the smallest straw out of like the group there. It's like you invest so much and you kind of sit there and wait to see if it's going to be your turn or wait until, like it's your turn coming up where people that you've helped or people that you've covered, like they will do reciprocate and do the same to you. And I don't feel like you really have that reciprocation there. And so it does feel to me as if there's this pressure from your spiritual team of understanding like, all right, like what you've been dealt with up until this point, you don't really have a support system. But I don't think that's gonna be for too much longer. We do have the Lovers card here. Now, this did show up in the reverse, my friend, so I do have to call you out, my love, in terms of making sure that you don't try to make people be supportive of you. And what I mean by this is that I do feel as if you are able to see, like, the either give the benefit of the doubt to certain individuals, or maybe you're just able to see people's potential, but I always say potential doesn't pay the bills, my darling. So it's like you're able to see the people's potential and also don't y'all like the Space Needle casually just hanging out here in the background, gorgeous background. But, yeah, it's just to me, it's like you might be, like, almost insistent trying to tell your spirit team, like, "Hey, like, let's not forget this person here. Let's not forget, whoever." And your spiritual team is really asking for you to just disconnect from that idea because to me, Nine of Swords, like the people that are meant to be around you, your soul tribe, your soulmate, twin flame, honey. I'm not here to, diagnose people and tell you who you're thinking about and all that is your soulmate or twin flame. But I am telling you that your people that are part of your soul tribe, they're not going to be people that are very taxing on you mentally, where it's like you're wondering where you stand with them. You're wondering if to me, it's like you're in this place right now where you're craving security. You've tried to reach to people, and all that has done is bring more insecurity into your life. You reached out to spirit, and it's like you're just needing a bone tossed to you. What I hear for you right now, my friend, is that even though the number one thing you probably want to do right now is either just bed rot, scroll on your phone, or, whatever, I do feel like there's this level where it's like you need to, I'm not telling you to be like a social butterfly extrovert where you just talk to everybody that you walk by or anything, friend. But I do want to say for you, that I think it would be best for you to at least put yourself out there. Go to the park. Go to, when you go to the grocery store, don't wait until it's late at night or early in the morning when no one's there. Like, be intent purposeful about when you go out. So you give a platform, a foundation for your spiritual team to have the right people connect to you as well. Because you're not meant to be alone in this journey. Even though up until this point in time, you probably have felt as if like life has taught you so many lessons to the point where it's like you can only really rely on yourself. And in many cases, that's probably the case and it is true for you, but it's only because of the environments that you've been in, all right? The social groups that you've been in there, right? I do feel as if for you, there is this some type of response in terms of something that you choose to invest into in your own life, whether it's your career, whether it's yourself, your mind, body, spirit, whatever. There's something in that avenue where it's like when you are investing in yourself, it's like someone that decides to like invest into like their classes, right? Invest into the education there. And so they end up going to different um different classes, different courses there, taking a new job there. Um, it's gonna be through those other seemingly unconnected things that then allows for you to, without even trying, to have a lot more of a developed, more depthful type of social life. And I'm not just talking about romantic. I know we pulled the lovers card, but the lovers doesn't immediately just mean love, like the romantic love. There can be platonic love as well. All right. Think about like Christina Yang and Meredith Grey, right? Who are some other like best friend dynamics. You know what I mean? But Hierophant showing up there, my friend, like I really do feel as if, like, there's something with your story that you're meant to transmute here. Like, you weren't just dealt with like a bad hand, pun not intended, but I suppose it works. It doesn't feel as if you were dealt like a bad hand just for the sake of it, just for some character development, although that character development probably was valuable, right? It feels to me there's a little bit more substance to gain from that, you know? To me, this is like a representation of where it's like maybe you're meant to like have your voice be heard, telling your story. Like there's something that your spiritual team wants you to like during all this, because I know you're in survival mode right now, but during all of this, I really want you to think about how can you like essentially like make these lemons turn into lemonade, but not even just lemonade, because I do feel as if you do need to be more out of the box. Because again, I'm being shown those charcoals, so it's like you're meant to be a trailblazer. You're not meant to like your life and the circumstances, the traumas even that you've been dealt with, they're not relatable to anybody else. You can't really talk to other people about it probably, or if you tried, it's just you kind of regret it because it's just not worth explaining or whatever. And it's just like the reason why you are dealing with such unique situations is because of like what you're able to create from that. Does that make sense? And so obviously I can't tell you in specific on what it should be about because, your trauma is going to be very unique to yourself, unfortunately, there, friend. But I do feel as if there's something of value from here. If, I do think this is something that's an opportunity if you want to grab at. I mean, even looking at one of my other tarot decks here and seeing that it's matching 10 of Pentacles here in the back of the deck for both of these now. So it's like, I do feel like the next step for you comes from a place of like your general life just really stabilizing, your finances picking up there. And I think that's gonna happen regardless if you choose to transmute this pain and the life lessons and traumas that you've been dealt with recently in telling your story. But I do think if you're wanting to just have like the cherry on top, my darling, of this fabulous energy, think about how you can transmute it, whether it's writing, telling your story, writing a book, or like think about what you can take from your traumas, from your issues, and see how you can put out well, like, apply that to something, apply that to a project of some type, because I do just feel as if, like, transmutation is the name of the game for you. Transmutation is the name of the game for you, friend, so 4 of Wands. I will say, what I will suggest for you, friend, is that you're gonna have a very full circle moment before the end of this year. I would even again, I'm being shown the 2 to 4, so I think this might be even before the end. Like right when fall starts, you're gonna be having a very strong full circle moment where it's gonna be something that connects from like childhood. There's something that's going to like shake you to your core in a very positive way where you're just like, holy crap. Like, to me, like, I keep on hearing, like, a very full circle moment where you're able to just sit and reflect and be like, "Man, I really did this." Like, you're going to be able to look back on your story from where you're at right now, where you came from and where you're going. You're going to be able to have such a strong sense of pride, even if it's not even for seeing it as yourself, just seeing it as, like, an individual person, like, what they went through, the hardships and all that, and they still show up and they still are being a trailblazer. You are still being a trailblazer in the life that you're leading there. That's admirable. Alright, that's admirable. I understand how hard life can be right now, and I can understand, like, because of your issues, like, you might be just in this place where you've been in survival mode for so long that you kinda got off track from your path where other priorities had to take focus, right? It's hard for you to focus in on starting a business when everything else in your life is falling apart, right? So it's like you're still right on track with what you need to be doing. You're still right on track here. Give yourself some grace. Temperance energy here in the back of the deck. The number one priority I want you to be doing right now is just figuring out ways to separate yourself from that survival mode. Much easier said than done, right? And what I mean by this is that there might be certain habits, certain mindsets, certain patterns that you have developed, certain Achilles heels, certain vices that you might have developed to help you survive for a certain point in time. And that, I'm not here to chastise, certain times we need certain vices in our life just to keep our head above water, right? Um, but I do feel like for you, my friend, um, it's time, like, it almost becomes like a habit for you, so start looking at and dissecting, like, what things have served you for a certain points in time when you have been in survival mode for such a long time, and see where you can adjust that mindset a little bit. All right, my love? I really do feel optimistic about where things are going for you, so keep your head above water.